Class 2A postseason predictions are here. We are in round 2 for Class 2A. Again, our ranker last week went through and picked all of them. We'll talk about how he did. Again, my name is Caden Nissen. These are our rankers picks. These are not mine. We're having a ton of fun, though, doing these playoff predictions. Be sure to like this video, comment whether you agree, disagree. Maybe you drop your predictions. I don't know. We just love seeing you guys engage with this content. It shows us that you enjoy it and that we should keep doing it. And we'll be back next week for those matchups. But nevertheless, let's pick up where we are now. 16 teams remain. You're placed in your pod A, B, C, and D. All 7 classes are on the same playing field. With 16 teams left, you need to win 2 games, and you're off to the Dome, where you'll be reseeded once you get there. Last week, our ranker, pretty good. 14-2, not bad. Missed on a few. He's back this week with his picks and some reasoning why. Let's start in Pod A. We got matches between Central Lyon, George Little Rock, and Roland Story, and Kemper and Clarinda. Again, that is Pod A. So you win that pod, you win these 2 games, boom, you're off to Cedar Falls to play for a state title. Starting with Central Lyon, George Little Rock, and Roland Story. Roland Story, they continued their hot run with a first-round win over Clark, 42-7. The defense forced 5 turnovers and pitched a shutout until the fourth quarter. Offensively, 6 different Norse found the end zone. They're playing really well right now. Sam Knoll, had 3 passing touchdowns on 6 completions. Up next is CLGLR, who took care of Okoboji while racking up 423 yards of offense. The Lions' repeat bid will continue, though. Our ranker is going with Central Lyon, George Little Rock to end Roland Story's season right here. Great season, nevertheless. And who knows? Anything can happen, but our ranker is going with the top team in Class 2A right now. Moving on, Kemper and Clarinda. And what likely will be the best game of the second round, Clarinda will head to Carroll to take on the Red Hot Knights. 2 Red Hot teams, matter of fact. Round 1, Clarinda ran for 340 yards on Des Moines Christian, and what was a little bit of a surprising result. Can they repeat the ground effort? We'll find out. Kemper eliminated Cherokee Washington in a different style with 323 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Cherokee Washington was by far the best 4 seed on the board, and Kemper just dismantled them. So that they went out and proved a point in a game where a lot of people were maybe thinking Cherokee had a shot to take down the Knights, but nope, no shot. Kemper just absolutely played incredible. In this game, Kemper's passing attack will continue to be red hot and have more big plays. Our ranker is going with the Knights to set up a Kemper and Central Lyon, Georgia Little Rock matchup that will have tons of eyes on it if it were to come true. So there is what Pod A looks like. Those 2 teams would square off and go to the Dome if it occurs the way our ranker believes it to. Pod B right here, Van Meter and Union Community, and PCM and Mid Prairie. Starting with the top matchup, Van Meter. Union was one of the 2 games that we picked incorrectly last week as they knocked off Walk-On. The offense was effective with both running and passing game, and the defense recorded 4 interceptions. They take on Van Meter, though, who has only allowed 23 points in their last 4 games. Van Meter seems to have their sights set on a matchup with Central Lyon, Georgia Little Rock, and we don't see the Knights getting in front of that. Our ranker is taking the Bulldogs, that is, Van Meter over Union. Moving on, PCM and Mid Prairie. PCM moved their win streak to 6 games. Gavin Van Gorp threw for 192 yards, and 182 of those to Griffin Olson on only 5 catches for an average of 36 yards per catch. Adrian Robbins, the class's leading rusher, added 155 yards on the ground. And Mid Prairie, on the other side, took care of Northeast on the backs of 162 passing yards and 5 touchdowns from Brady Weber, and 179 rushing yards and a touchdown from Hudson Ehrenfeld. We do see PCM setting up a matchup with Van Meter, an intriguing one that would be to head to the Dome. Our ranker is going with PCM to take down Mid Prairie. Moving on to Pod C, our third pod of 4. We got West Lyon and Western Christian, a district rematch, and Spirit Lake and New Hampton. Starting with that top matchup, like I said, a district rematch between 2 top 10 teams. We'll go head-to-head in the second round. The previous meeting, West Lyon defeated Western Christian 20-7. Since that game, both teams have only lost the top-seeded Central Lyon, Georgia Little Rock. This is going to be an outstanding matchup, but we see West Lyon winning on their home field. It's going to be a small margin. As you can see, the 2 teams in the first round played a close game. We expect the same sort of result, but give our ranker West Lyon. Next, Spirit Lake and New Hampton. Coming off 2 straight shutouts, Spirit Lake will welcome New Hampton to town. New Hampton took down West Marshall to get here. In this matchup, Spirit Lake is just really, really good. They're kind of slept on. They're kind of the 5th team, I'd say, kind of sitting on the outside, them and Kemper. And I think Spirit Lake is just, our ranker says he thinks Spirit Lake is just too much offensively, and the Indians will move on to the sub-state final to set up a fun matchup with West Lyon. Moving on to our final pod, Monticello and Jessup, and Meepo and Comanche. Starting with Monticello. Jessup defeated Crestwood to move on to the second round. Ryan Treptow threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for another. For the Panthers, it was the Preston Rise show again. He accounted for 412 of offensive yards and 6 touchdowns. This is going to be too much for Jessup to contain. The Panthers the Panthers defense will put up a great effort. Our ranker is going with Monticello to head to the Pod D final. Minneapolis over Comanche. Meepo defeated Anamosa without recording a passing yard. Jackson Hutchinson had 165 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. The defense also recorded a pick 6. On the other side, Comanche rolled West Burlington 42-14. Tyson Caesar recorded a 66-yard touchdown in the end. And in the end, in this one, we see Meepo being too much, and they'll continue to get it done at home. He is taking the Meepo Bulldogs, to take down Comanche and set up a matchup with Monticello. So that is all we got for Class 2A. In and out in 6 minutes, super quick, didn't waste your time. Be sure, if you have time, to go check out the other 7 videos. Again, drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment, support IA Football. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Class 2A has been really good to us, and it's going to be a ton of fun going down the wire. We're starting to see, as we've seen all year, the top teams kind of separate themselves from the pack. So Class 2A fans, be sure to check out the rest of the videos, and I'll catch you next week for the Sub-State Final previews.